I can check it a bit later. Here are the Masteries. I would say this is not too bad. This is perfectly viable for Mundo. I do wonder, like, I kind of wanna see what's someone like Freddy from SK picked in the Worlds, because he really was like the best player at Worlds. And since I don't really play Mundo much at all, like I don't even know how many times I've played Mundo in the past 5 years. Probably 5 times or something. But let's see. Wonder which games he was Mundo. Shouldn't take too long to find out. There's not that many games SK play. Yeah, I think this was one of the great Mundo performances by Freddy. And hopefully we can see this on the stream now, like intent. So Doran shield start with the potions. That's all fine, but let's look at the runes. He used health regen, hybrid penetration, flat HP and flat magic resistance. We have to remember that this was against Ryze, but so maybe against the AD matchup he would have used scaling magic resistance instead. Of course, depending on the mid laner as well. Maybe some games you don't even need magic resistance runes. So you would have like CDR instead or something. But yeah, pretty much the same masteries you had. Instead of like the second point in the enhanced armor, he went for the I believe this is like Butcher, or is it called, in the offense. But yeah, 30 defense is great for Mundo. You get all those scaling stats that the percent scaling stats with like HP and health regen and all that shit. It's just so great. The offense 3 doesn't really make sense. So seems like you have the right idea. These were the runes, I believe. And so yeah, like we saw in the Freddy's page, hybrid penetration is for sure the way to go. You have a massive steroid on the auto attack, so the armor penetration will allow you to deal a lot of punishment with just the auto attacks from the E, and hybrid penetration of course works with the cleaver and the spells as well, from in the magic penetration sense, I mean. And in the seals, I guess armor is fine. Maybe the flat HP was because of, again, the Ryze matchup, and where armor isn't nearly as useful. Also Mundo has that HP scaling thing about him, so even HP per level is pretty good, I believe. And yeah, for Queens, what did Freddy have? Yeah, he had health regen. I guess movement speed is pretty good too. Nothing against that. Yeah, I wouldn't probably take AD or AP or anything like that. Movement speed, armor, health regen are probably the best choices for Queens. And in the glyphs you had the scaling magic resistance per level. A very good choice, I believe. That depends again on the matchup. I'm not sure what the matchup for you was, but very good runes for tanky top laner like Mundo. So let's load up the replay then. So it's a Ryze matchup actually, I believe. And let's not spoil anything just yet. Teleport versus teleport, Mundo versus Ryze. So again that ready rune page was probably what you would want in a Mundo rune page against the Ryze. But yeah, the scaling HP versus flat, I mean scaling magic resistance versus flat magic resistance, it evens out at like level 6 I believe, so it's, or was it later, was it level 9 or something, but yeah, it's not a huge difference to have like that 42 instead of 38 or whatever. So I actually like scaling a lot more sometimes. Well, actually you would have a bit more than the 42, but yeah, anyway. And you can also mix the runes, but here Ryze was able to push the lane a bit harder, and you keep missing some easy last hits here. Yeah, can't miss too much CS. Oh, and yeah, the warding thing. Even if you're like not pushing the lane, this is still a position where you might get ganked in, so for sure you wanna be dropping the ward at like my timing for dropping wards is like 2 minutes 50 seconds. It will always like prevent that fast gank to top lane. But since now you see Jack, there's no need to ward for a while, and if you even check his HP, you would see that he's in no position to gank anytime soon, because he will have to recall pretty much. And yeah, let's turn off the fucking directed camera. I think ideally you don't really want to give the Ryze a free form if possible. I think you can regen a decent amount even if he would choose to harass you, so. And for sure all the damage you deal to him will stick a lot better on him than on you, because you have the sustain advantage in this lane for sure. Like that alone doesn't mean much unless you really use it against him, like get into those fights, deal back some damage and go from there. And your first item should probably be the Visage or Negatron or whatever. It might be a bit too expensive to complete the Spirit Visage as soon as you go back to the base the first time. Finally Ryze is spending his mana. Oh, you missed the last cannon there. It should have just used the cleaver on it rather than go for the Ryze. once you get level 6, the sustain is just probably too much for Ryze poke to really matter, I think. And with your rune setup and all that shit, I think after 6 you should have a decent power spike, especially once you buy the first time, because once Ryze comes to the lane back with the tier and you get the Negatron, that's a much larger power spike than the unstacked tier. So at that point you really need to fight him, I think, if possible at all. Like, if you just let the Ryze stack the tier, he will carry the game. Can't let Ryzes freeform. They can be killed in the early game and can be kept down with the few ganks or whatever. And I've also seen Mundos dominate Ryze in lane, like was in the Freddy game, so I think this is a bit too passive approach overall, and something you could change in your game. It's just kind of difficult to say exactly what you should be doing. Basically you need to like auto attack the minion wave a lot more, and when the Ryze comes into trade you need to like land the cleaver and go on him, but now you went with too little HP. Yeah, the timing was just off on that. Like, you need to trim the minion waves a bit with your auto attacks and land some cleavers on the Ryze. The damage will stick. He doesn't have sustain, so if you can keep it kinda even on the trades and then get the ultimate, your ultimate is much more powerful than his. But if you just use the ultimate to like sustain against some harass and don't really use the HP advantage well at all, then the end result can be something like we just saw. Yeah, you get the Spectral Cowl. It's the buy for sure. There's nothing better than it. Could wait for a second potion here. You should have probably. And leaving this early was a mistake for sure. Like, I don't usually mind waiting a second or whatever for an extra potion. Sometimes if the lane feels super hard I might even wait like 20 gold for a potion, but probably not. So we see you teleport gank the bottom. I'm not sure how great this follow-up is gonna be. Like, was there someone in this press? Oh yeah, there was. I mean, you might get the Yasuo here. Yeah, Udur is also flanking them, or in the reach around thing. This could be a dragon. I think it should be. But I'm not sure if you guys are. Someone is being in. I guess it's you. It's the right call, but will we see the Udur following up on this? It's taking too long. Ryze is free farming, but yeah, this is a worthy thing to do still. Should have been a bit faster, but it's not your fault. You made a good call there and good gank, and that's giving your team some money for sure. The bad news is that Ryze has started stacking the tier and has a CS advantage over you, but shouldn't have a gold advantage for sure. Oh, he actually has. I guess the CS mattered that much. Oh yeah, and the kill, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Without the kill though, you would be ahead. And I don't think the Ryze is that strong at this point. You have the ultimate, and if you land the cleaver and the Ryze doesn't if you land the cleaver and the Ryze is like this far away from the turret or something like that, you should be able to chase him down even without the flash. Also, I don't think flash is that great on Mundo. I think I'm not sure what the Freddy was using. I think usually it's Ghost. Maybe he would take flash sometime. Oh yeah, he took flash too. I like Ghost a lot on Mundo though. But yeah, you should for sure look to kill him. I think with the Howl and your ultimate against the tier that's not even that stacked yet, yeah, you should be able to do it. Ryze doesn't have any sustain, so you don't need to do it from full HP, but just a few cleavers to soften him up like this, and a few siege minion attacks, and suddenly he's like less than 1000 HP. So yeah, I think your approach is way too passive. And we saw the Jack in the mid lane, so ganking would be... I mean, ganking is not gonna happen, so going offensive in the face is the right answer right here, I think. Like right there, if you land the cleaver when he comes to melee you, I mean to auto attack you or something like that, it should be a good time to go in. It's just something that comes with some game knowledge and sense that that you see the jungler in the mid lane, and mid laner is also pushing the mid, so there's nobody to gank you, and then you need to realize like the power spike you have. Cowl versus tier that's not even very stacked, and Mundo who can really kill the Ryze if you get to the melee range, I think. He's squishy with no sustain and not even much mana at the moment. But like this, it's not gonna happen. You need to like return the damage. You need to get up close and personal. You need to land cleavers, melee him with the masochism or what? Wow, how do you say that? So yeah, I don't like this approach at all. You're missing I think more CS than him, and you're letting him stack the tier. Like, how long will you wait until you go aggressive? Now you go, but the cleaver doesn't even. I think you need to first land a few cleavers so he isn't like this high health, and so that you can actually follow up on him. Then there can't be like too many minions in between you. You need to find the right angle. And here you could have like cancelled his recall. I don't see many people do that at like low elo, but it's very useful. But yeah, I guess Ryze will now TP back as soon as he's bought his items. And you will probably have to do the same, because he might wave clear with the ultimate, and then you would miss too much. Or if you want to like gank the bot lane with teleport, it could be possible, but yeah, we'll need to have the Caitlyn back. Oh, the ward is now gone, so that's not an option right now. And let's see, you complete the visage, and you have wards and potions. Yeah, pretty good. Ryze is now 200 stacking on the tier, and now we see the teleport to bot lane. This a great teleport. Was it a needed one? There's a dragon, but it's not quite yet up, so you would want to take the turret first and then rotate the dragon. Ryze was mid going to top. I don't think he will like get your tower down. But there is a pretty big wave hitting it soon. You can still take the dragon though. Yep. a lot of good moves here, I think, grouping up with your team. Oh, and you land the cleaver. I think you should have this. Oh, you land the second one as well. Yeah. Now you could just push the mid, take the creeps here. There's nothing you can really do at bottom, I think. And I don't think Ryze is no match for you, but you need to land a cleaver. You missed like 3 there. Even so, you are still like beating him, or at least close to it. Yeah, got to work on those cleavers, man. I think you missed like 4 or 5 in a row there. Yeah, that can't happen. No way that can happen. You need to land those cleavers if you wanna be effective. Like, without them you won't ever catch anyone. Also not until you have like more movement speed, like from the boots and whatever. There we see oh my god, really? Yeah, that was close. Yeah, I would probably just go top right now and see if the Ryze comes. Yeah, Ryze is top, so I think even if with the Ryze kinda big right now, you can still possibly beat him, even if you're not doing that great, just because I think the matchup is pretty good for Mundo, and but it will require you to land those cleavers. Like, without them there's no chance. It just takes some patience and, I don't know, practice. They're not too fat anymore. They nerfed the hitbox on the cleavers, so it's a bit harder to land them than before, but yeah, you just have to fucking do it. I think easiest way to land the cleavers is like have them chase you or chase them directly or whatever. I think you could go for it. Use the potion though. Yeah, finally you do it. And this is something you could have done like I think 3 times or 4 times this game already. Like, but they were like, you were too passive in the laning phase, and then when you choose to do the when you choose to do the all-ins, then you missed all the cleavers, so you lost. So but finally you nail it and get the results. Yeah, you probably want the mercs against Ryze. They also have the thresh, and he has a lot of CC that is reduced by the mercs, and also Jack has some magic damage and slows that get reduced by the mercs. Overall, there's not that much like hard CC that is reduced by mercs, because Jack has knockups and so does Yasuo, and those aren't affected. But the Thresh Hook, the walls of the ultimate, and the Ryze Rune Prison are affected by the tenacity. So that will help, and of course all the slowing effects by... Yeah. Oh, we see again these cleavers missing. Hopefully the regen is enough. And again we see another miss, but this time the fight was lasting long enough, and I guess you did have enough magic resistance so that the Ryze wasn't really able to do anything at all, even without like landing the cleavers. And also the movement speed helped you to like stick to him and some melee attacks. Nice reactive flash there, probably needed. I think Yasuo had damage to kill you there. Could have maybe juked it without the flash because it wasn't that close to you. And now you have the mercs, and I don't think you really need this many HP potions, but it doesn't really hurt. Like as long as you dominate the Ryze, then you're doing the right thing. Nice teleport. Let's see. This is kinda too fast. Oh, but this was a bit too greedy, I believe. Let's see if Caitlyn can get something here. Oh, but your team is still picking up kills. Oh, but holy shit. I don't know about this. I think this was just too greedy. It will just bait your team, to be honest. At this point, you should have just probably shown them a bit. I don't think the Ryze, for example, has the damage to kill you, and if you just like turn around right here, you could get away, I think. And then the fight would be like 1-for-1. So you try to make the trade there, but I'm not sure if that's even worth it. I think you were like worth more gold than the Ryze. It should have probably ended right here. Then it would be so good for your team, but the greed is real. I don't know what the other was also thinking. There's nothing he can do. So you will also need a lot of armor this game. The Lucian is rather fed right now, and so is Yasuo, so that's like pure physical damage right there. Of course Yasuo also has the static shift, but it's not really like itemized against specifically. I don't know what that point was. Of course magic resistance helps against shiv, and you also already have like, at this point you wouldn't really need more magic resistance. Next item should be I don't know, Sunfire, or I prefer Randuin's. I don't like Sunfire that much, to be honest. I think that item has been nerfed so many times. It was good when before the nerfs as a first item and whatever. Oh yeah, that's what Mundo can do when... Oh my god! You could have still gone for it. I don't think you even needed to land that clear. Just man up and dive him. I think the turret damage wasn't even close to enough. But yeah, you will need Randuin's and Thornmail, I think, this game. It's not really worth going for magic resistance anymore in the later team fights. It's the Lucian and Yasuo that will hurt you the most. And yeah, I think you're on the right path here. CS is very low, I think. Even if we just compare to Ryze, I think this is a favorable matchup, so you should for sure have like 50% more than you currently have, so the 150 or whatever should be really easy to get them. But of course your goal should be even higher than that. But then again, we've seen that teleport roaming action, so that will hurt your CS a bit. Another all-in. And yeah, this is pretty much what I expect to happen in this matchup most times. And also I think Ryze is kinda itemizing the wrong way. Frozen Heart doesn't really do anything against Mundo, I think. The Mundo damage is so like the mixed up anyway. It's like 50-50 magic and physical, so the way to beat Mundo is to like have an insane amount of damage, I think. So basically Ryze needed like an Void Staff and Seraph Embrace or something. I don't think this he's stacking the tier that quickly at all. Like I believe it should be stacked already if he was like fast on it, but then again I also don't play much Ryze, so I think the champion is just too boring. But yeah, that Yasuo and Lucian are absolutely huge. Yeah, close call there. If you really want to like push that far up, you need to place your wards. And I would like to see you buy those pink wards or swap the trinket as well, and maybe buy even more than one stealth ward. Or you could have bought like a cloth armor there, because that armor is really needed right now. Like just look at Yasuo and Lucian. Oh yeah, you need to zone some people away from this. So that they don't reach the Caitlyn. You need to like try to hold the Ryze at least. You are pretty good against the Ryze as we've seen. Yeah. I think Caitlyn is fine against the Jack. This is another kill I believe. Oh! The Lucian though. Just finish off the fucking Jack. Oh yeah. And that's how you do it. Hopefully you get even more armor next, or yeah, I would get just more armor like Thornmail or something. Or would then Warmox be worth it? Possibly, but yeah, they have the Ruined King, and I think Zac also does that. HP damage. Yeah, maximum health damage, so resistance are also pretty good to have. Like Riot is like really adding a lot of these HP damage items. I mean not items, but skills and all that shit, like the Jack one, and what else? There's so many of those, I believe. Like Vayne has that shit, but those are pretty old ones. But there's even like some newer ones, so I can't really remember all of them. And Ruined King is pretty popular buy at the moment, so you will run into a lot of HP damage things. Which makes HP stacking a lot worse. Because if people really have a lot of those skills, then all the HP is like not really helping at all. It will just get eaten away by those spells. You could be maybe split pushing, but then again, like, will your team hold? Difficult to say. Also, if you split now, there's a good chance they will like collapse on you, so the warding needs to be like really good. You have like no map control at all, so grouping up is the way to go probably, until you get like more vision. Oh, this Ryze should be dead if you just ultimate on his ass. I don't think you will need the ultimate. Yeah, this is exactly how to not split push. He had no vision, I think, and he was like hoping his team would keep up the pressure. Like, I think that when that Ryze was like here, he made the decision to like split push. He had no teleport or whatever, and at that point it looked to be a good decision, as there was like fighting or whatever in this like part of the jungle, and he saw most of your team there, but he just didn't check the map enough or whatever. For whatever reason, he thought he was safe. So yeah, this CS is really low. Basically when you have teleport, if you just ward properly, like have like this river or whatever warded, and like a ward in this red side area or whatever in their jungle somewhere in the brush here, then you could like pretty safely split push all the way here. And of course, if you wanna reach the tier 2, then you would need like ward in this brush or the raid brush and whatever, so they wouldn't flank you. So I think your CS is just way too low, especially playing with the teleport, and you're not really utilizing the split pushing opportunities. You are able to beat the Ryze, as at least so far you have been, so I think it should work out fine for you. I'm not sure if anything changes once he has the Seraph. Probably not until he has like void stuff or whatever. Oh, a bit late on the ultimate maybe. But maybe not. Yeah, you're able to reach everything, but you really weren't the focus target for them. But this whole fight is not going too great right now. I think Caitlyn has decent damage, but well, what is this item build? Is that the fucking hurricane next? Yeah, don't build that shit. Oh, and I don't think you can fight this. Yasuo is like insanely fed. Yeah, he will one-shot the Caitlyn if he gets there. Yeah, if he comes alone like this, then it's then it's of course worth fighting. Oh, that's a risky path to take. Oh, Janna, don't die. Oh, don't go back. What? No! I don't know what was that about. You almost had the ultimate or whatever. You should have realized that you died to like one spell. So, a Warmox. And now maybe a Thornmail next, I hope. I don't think there's like good alternatives to that. Or even something like Atmas Impaler. I think it's underrated as fuck on something like Mundo. I'm not sure if I like seen it. Wait, does that item even exist anymore? Because I've like not seen it this season. Master tire knowledge. Yeah, it should exist still. Look at this much HP, 4000. Impaler is so good, especially if you get good use of the armor, and also because of the AD that Mundo has, the critical hits will be scaling quite nicely. But yeah, I think you are going for Tone Mail, I hope. Or something like that. Yeah, you haven't really used the teleport for a while now. I think you should have been just in the side lanes when you have to teleport. You are not really initiator at all anyway, so... Like, Mundo doesn't really have the hard initiate. He can kinda chase people down though. So at Jack for Janna and a free dragon, but Udyr is bot lane, so hopefully you notice that and don't get into bad fights. Oh fuck, you can catch this Yasuo totally. Oh shit. Oh my god. That was that was a bit greedy. Yeah, especially now you should be split pushing so hard, just get some wards. You can even wait until the minions like push to the inhib or whatever. Well, probably they can like yeah, usually what happens, they stick in the mid, but if you would were to like put bot lane pressure or whatever with teleport available, it would be so hard to deal with. But the problem is sometimes that your team will just get caught while you try to split push. It's not worth it, but yeah, with fast enough teleport and it could be still a good fight, so but yeah, that's how you would put the enemy team in a really tricky situation. If you have 4 people pressuring the Baron and now you were to split push this, like who would they send? If they send Ryze, I think you can beat him still. If they send Yasuo, can they win the team fights? Or if they send a Lucian, can they win the team fights then? And also, if they send those guys, maybe you could just like get away from him and teleport back to Baron. Then he would have to spend like 30 seconds running back to the mid or Baron. But yeah, in standoff like this is exactly what you shouldn't do, because now it's just like waiting until the inhib respawns. But I think you got the Ryze here. So this might lead to better things, but holy shit, the Yasuo damage. Not enough to kill people though. And I think you can drone the Lucian away, so he's not really killing anyone right now. Also, I think they are just itemizing really poorly. Oh wait, when did Lucian buy the last Whisper? I thought just now he didn't have it. Oh yeah, he didn't have it until like the last fight or whatever. Also 0 life steal on the Lucian. He won't be able to deal with Thorn Mail and shit like that, and also if he gets poked at all before the fight starts, then it's pretty bad news. I think he should have for sure gone for like Ruined King over the Triforce or whatever. Yeah, Ruined King would be so good on that Lucian. Bad itemization for sure. Like, there's no better targets for Ruined King than like Udyr and Mundo or whatever. You really need the movement speed against them and some lifesteal. Yeah, the end result is good, but I think the way you played the lane and you didn't split push at all. I think that was like something that could have been very useful for you to like split push. It takes some skill and confidence though to do it properly. On my stream there's like the link to the ward map where it like explains like what wards you need if you want to push down the tier 2 turrets. For example, if you wanted to push down this turret, you would need basically a ward in this brush here or somewhere in the riverside, and another one in this brush probably, so you would see the whole area leading up to the top lane. Also Jack can jump from pretty far away, like from out of vision, so also Yasuo has that chasing potential, so it's would be kinda hard to split, but if you're this much stronger than Ryze, you should have been able to split for sure. Would have been especially useful if your team was like losing, but since you were like doing very good in the team fights, I guess the split pushing isn't like as relevant. But yeah, the CS is just way too slow. Like if you just look at like your jungle 234 against you 134 as top laner with teleport, shouldn't happen. This should be reversed actually. I think you could have easily achieved like 300 CS in this game, even with just like teleporting a few times. And yeah, I hope your last item was Thornmail. Like, oh yeah, it was actually. What am I talking about? Yeah, after this, it's kind of difficult to choose from. Like, I think this is like the core in most games anyway. I like the Atmas Impaler actually. It's kind of troll item nowadays, but with 4000 HP it's something to think about, especially when they have mid laner like Yasuo who deals physical. Yeah, think about the Atmas sometimes. It's not good early, but in late game it's pretty like, and in mid game it's so cost effective. Even at just 1200 it's like already kinda cost effective. Not a good buy maybe, but yeah, it's something like 2 to 3000 HP, like 2.5 to 3000 HP Atmas becomes really good on Mundo. Kinda situational still, but pretty good.